philosophies, shapes, sizes, mental capacities, cultural wonders, and visitors from other planets. On and on. Oh yeah. I don't believe I ever mentioned our manifesto here at the Return to the Perfumed Gardens. So here goes. We're here to enlighten you to new choices for your ears to pursue and either turn you on, but hopefully not turn you off.
Oh, no way, baby.
Yeah, right? There you go. Thank you, Nance. Sometimes it's just a grand, exhaustive 45 and sometimes a full LP. And sometimes, like right now, the amplifier craps out. Anyway, so don't be afraid to take notes for future use, but just expect a tuneful of possibilities. So just get on that bus and I'll drive you to the brink of musical diversity. Let's see. First stop on this Wonderland Express is to the great lost British Psych. You know, I like that scene. Their whole trip is... And this is a Psych... Let's see, how should I say this? Anecdotal improviser? I don't know. Yeah, whatever. It's called, the song is called The Train to Disaster. Ooh, I like that already. The suspects responsible for this disaster, not the tune, but the song title, are The Voice. And it's from London in 1966, baby. So, smoke some if you got some, and have at it! If that don't clear up your sinuses and open the door, baby, then you ain't paying attention. We are looking at the cover, which I love this cover. I really do. And it's called Chocolate Soup for Diabetics. This is an unofficial release, which it's on the Relics label. I guess that means it's a bootleg. But it sure looks officiale. So let's talk about this, and for future reference, we're going to dial back into this a little later on. Anyway, here's the bad news about that song. These flaming pomegranates only hatched 145 and balooey. But oh baby, do these cats massage your brain. Miller Anderson was bending the strings, and this cat called Eddie Hammer, I don't remember his last name. He is playing on the keyboards, the organ, B3. The tight harmonies belie the glooming lyrics that the world is the train to disaster. The world is the train to disaster. Ouch! So much for love and flowers. they were the first known, well, they were first known as Carl Stewart in the Profiles. And these creatures were supposedly hooked up with some religious cult called Church of the Process. Okay, whatever. Like I say, all philosophies, cultures, and beliefs. I guess maybe that might explain the lyrics, eh? Miller was on his way out, and he recommended a guitarist by the name of, here it comes, Mick Ronson, to replace him. Now, yeah, that Mick Ronson. Ronson only stuck around for a few months before the others in the band split in the middle of the night for the Bahamas. What? Talk about Mysteries Theater. Probably a good omen for Mick. Anyway, that's their effort. That's all I could find out about them. They're kind of like loose nuts behind the wheel. What can I say? Take it from someone who is. Rik Strange, by the way, your MC for today. We'll come back to this one, like I say, for another cut later on. But before that, I know you will need a refreshment for your taste buds with a group I was fortunate enough to see. I got around a bunch, and I've seen a bunch of bands, and this was one of them. Well, get to the point, Pete. In 1976, from England, I had no inkling what my audio ports were in for. I speak of that, dare I say, prog rock for a band called Bebop Deluxe. Not too much is said about these percolators, so let me pour you a hot cut from the live LP, and the live LP was called Live from the Air Age. Our selection, Shannonee, is Sister Seagull. So turn off that dang phone of yours, Nancy Lee, and be prepared to be launched. I might have been a little late to their party, but I wasted no time in stocking my record shop at that time with the first 3 LPs. This is it that we are speaking of. It's a double LP. The reason I bring these guys up is I've seen, I've seen people in the vinyl community pulling the chain and saying, hey, they're there, and that's all well and good, but this is one of those forgotten pieces that don't get mentioned too often. I love this band. The one that got me hooked was called Modern Music, and that was when I saw them. They were touring with that record. Intense, really intense. I wish I could remember who warmed up for them. I don't. It was in a small club, and man, phew. After that concert, I pitched the tent and started to convert. I didn't say anything bad. What did I say?
Nothing. Keep going.
Can I go with that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll put a censor block over my mouth if I said something wrong. Sorry, didn't mean to offend. I slipped. What did I say?
Keep going.
Okay, here we go. You see, no script, just sort of move with the groove. Anyway, I pitched a tent and started the great conversion to the uneducated to Bill Nelson and Company, man. Every cut on this LP is one incongruously unbelievable after another cut. It moves. Everything on this record, every cut is a great one. I mean, sorry, that's just how I feel. It just moves. The live stuff isn't. Their studio albums are very, very representative of what they could do. But boy, when they play live, even more crazier. Ruage can be expected on this whole LP. Total ruage, baby. These boys were as hot, here it comes, as Speedos in a marathon. No groans from the audience. That's good. Take my word on that one. Woohoo! Anyway, can't say much about their last LP, Drastic Plastic, or Bill's Red Noise LPs, but he was just trying to break away and do his thing. But everything else that they did, it ain't no well drink. They're all top shelf. Woohoo! Okay, let's move on from that verbal fiasco and get on to the next one. Let's spark up another uncured ham, if you would. What? I don't know. The timeline now is 1978. What is he talking about? Well, I'm talking about Liverpool in the UK. There was 3 young guys out there, and they united with a drum machine and created a short-lived spectacle called Shadow of Madness. Now, I like the title of that band. That's pretty cool. Movement ahead, and they morphed into the Teardrop Explodes, which some of you may know about.
That's a cool name.
That is a cool name, but the band was cool too. And Julian Cope came from that band. And people might know who he is. We'll talk about him down the road sometime. And then they had, at that point, they picked up a real drummer and a keyboardist. Then the old in and out of members took place with the original crew of Ian McCall, that's what it was. Will Starlett and Les Pattinson, I think it was Pattinson. And they formed Echo and the Bunnymen. By 1980, these post-punkers were becoming an alternative neo-psych bonanza. Woo! Here for your groovin' transition is the LP, their first LP, called Crocodiles. And our exhibit off of that particular platter is called Going Up. Let's all go down to the club and sweat in that musty air with all that smoke that everybody was doing then, and sway to the vibration.
Good.
was explained in our little break there of what I inadvertently said. And now I'm moving on from that one. Expect the worst and get it. Only hypothesis, gardeners. That song, getting back to where we should be, well, somewhere where we should be, that particular song, this, let's hold up the record. Let's take off the plastic. This is my copy from the day, my original copy from 1980. I had a perchant for these guys. You know, it's kind of a weird time for me. This is the cover. You know, that particular, this whole album and this concept that they were throwing out there is far from the pull of gravity. I mean, seriously. It really sends me trippity-doo-dah all day long. I mean, remember, this came out when I was like 28, 29 years old, and my feet were grounded into that 60s thing big time, but my headspace was swirling with other possibilities. I mean, there's a lot going on. The whole thing is a drone-ish spacewalk to English neo-psychland. If anything, they're more in line with the new site that was going down in LA then, the Paisley Underground, with bands like Green on Red, who I like a lot, and Rain Parade, who I just totally want to marry, and the Dream Syndicate, who were burning that new path forward for about maybe 2.5 years, really steady, with the bunnies in tow. I think it fits well with them. They were doing a lot of experimental stuff. It's minimalist for sure, like, you know, like the punk thing was, but it wasn't that crash and burn sound. It was more of a, I don't know how to explain it. Well, it was a post-punk album. What do you want? Alternate rock, call it what you like. They were doing something different. Anyway, enough of that one. Move on to the next one. And last but I didn't even have any coffee. Today's last Flower Smashers are from the previous comp, which I showed you. Chocolate Soup for Diabetics. And I kind of feel that this is I've been kind of in an acidy psych trip lately. Oops, I'm gonna hang myself. So here's a band by the Nutches, N-U-C-H-E-Z-S, Nutches. Hey, I don't know, or Nutches, Crutches, you know. Anyway, they coagulated back in 1965 near Chicago in the suburbs, but they broke big locally, and then Chicago Town was their big gyrating joint where they played all the time. It's you know, they broke with a really heavy garage psych moody kind of a thing. By 66, we get this chewy morsel called Open Up Your Mind. So I'll spin their offering and let you open up your mind as well as your lobers now.
Think about the things I have back, you'll understand what I've been telling you. Then you realize that it's all coming true. So now go ahead, you know what to do. Try to find the words to describe.
Now that's a snack pack of stone cold grooves. If I could backpedal just for a moment, back to the echo and the boom. If you like that cut and you aren't necessarily into trying to grab the whole LP, because I mean it's been reissued and you can probably find a beat copy for a reasonable price. This, it's not, I guess you'd call it a greatest hits. I'm not a big greatest hits fan. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that that's not what I normally buy. But this I got back, I think this was from 83. I think this is 83. It's got that tune on it, plus some other unreleased stuff. The puppet was the thing that they do on a musical video called Erg, The Musical War. If you want to check them out, they're all over YouTube. But that's what I would dial in, go to the Erg movie, and then partake of their delights. Okay, let's get back to what we were going with here. The guitarist in this band, the Nutches, is a guy named Rik Strange, and he's to blame for that fuzzy delish delight. It's no mystery, well, at least not to me, that the song's about an LSD trip. So, what's wrong with that? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Once again, local fame. They had it, but the record company didn't have any push, and it didn't go anywhere. It kind of, you know, what does that do to your brain cells? I mean, you're in a band that's cranking out a tune that's really happening, and then the record company just craps out on you. Hey, why bother signing? So that sort of turned things around, and they said we've had enough. So we were lost to these cats in the spring of, I think it was '67, when Rik Strange left the band. But get this one, he went to play with the Lemon Drops, yeah, and played on that banger that they put out, I Live in the Springtime. Now, I will have to dive back into that record sometime. I did it years ago when we were first starting out. It's a great album. Really good stuff. Anyway, well, there you have it for this time round the Mulberry Bush, kids. One thing I want to bring up here, if you haven't noticed, I've been leaning into comps and 45s lately. Well, there's the number one reason, well, I don't know, it's a big reason, is that there's a massive load of Tripster singles out there, you know, that they didn't ever really get an album out, or the album kind of, but that song that I play, I think is worth the effort. And so I've been digging into those again. And then 45s I like, because I got a jukebox. But unfortunately, this is the other reason, and it's because the ridiculous prices on what I want to play for everybody and to bring forth from that dirty, dusty corner, musty smelling crate. These cats out there are just totally wrecking the VC collector community. You know, such is commerce. The problem with me is I don't sell anything. Everything I get, I keep, and I play. And I'm not in it to make a living like a lot of these guys are. They buy, they sell, they buy, they sell, they buy, and they, you know, they just drive everything sky high. Well, listen, such is commerce. And hey, I ain't crying in my soup. I'm just stating the reality for all the VCers everywhere. We're all in the same boat. So, you may ask, what was today's bumper music supposed to be when it was playing? Well, when Mr. Amp was cooperating, it was... here's... Woohoo! Where is it? It was a great 50-cent crate find, finally. The Lemon Pipers.
Sandpipers.
Huh?
Sandpipers.
Or Lemon Pipers. Lemon Sandpipers. Little yellow birds. The sandpipers. Yeah, I know. Thank you, camera lady. Can you imagine what it would have been like today if I would have had coffee? Woo! Lordy, lordy, have it now your way. So, well, anyway, that record was from 1966, and it was called Guantanamera, and ooh, it's so refreshing. So, with that I say, thanks for the new subscribers. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for sticking around. I haven't lost any. That's even a special treat for me. And remember, music is the answer. When you're down and out or when you're up and flying, either way, music is where it's at, baby. Don't pass it by. So, before we close, I always say the same, and it's always important. We are all one, baby. And till the twain shall meet, I say peace, love, and flowers. And I mean it. This ain't no faux pas. See you later.